Good day, welcome once again to our another session of differential calculus. Right now, we are already on the physical application. We are already done with the geometric application. We are now on the physical application. So here, we have some problems about physical application. And these problems can be solved using the methods that we've discussed in the past topics. So let's start. Okay, let me copy the first question. So let's try to solve this one. Okay. So the first question states that the amount. So here we have the amount of 100,000 pesos is put at interest at 5% per annum under the condition that the interest shall be compounded at each instant. How many years will be required for the amount to reach 200,000? So, let's so pila ka tuig daw ang iyahang bunuon para makuha niya ng 200,000 for a condition nga ang iyahang kwarta mag-interest og 5% per year per annum. So, per year. So, under the condition nga iyang interest shall be compounded at each instant. So, in differential equation, so let's put here, so let's say, so let, this is very important. So, we have here the amount of money, di ba? So, we are talking about the amount of money. So, we have here, so for example, let's have A, or sorry, say A be equal to the amount of money, di ba? That will change over time. So, meaning, di ba, in this case, the money is the one that is changing. But the one that causes the money to change is time. So, meaning, the rate of change is the differential of your amount of money divided by differential of your time. So, this is the rate of change that the differential of A with respect to T. So meaning the numerator is the one changing with respect to your time. So this is the rate of change. Okay. So remember always, this one is the one that is always changing. The denominator is the one that causes the change. So mostly in these problems, mostly the one that causes the change is the time. Okay. So mostly the one that causes the change is the time. So let's try solving. So from here it says that the sum of 100,000 is put at interest at 5%. So per annum. So therefore the rate of change is just equal, every time it changes is equal to the 5%. So 5% is 0.05, that is 5% of the amount invested. Okay? Amount of money. So, ano siya, which basically changes with respect to time. So, from here, we will just derive this one to get the general solution or the equation that we will be using as we go on, so that we can have an equation where our inputs will be substituted in order to gain those values. So what we are doing right now is making equation. So those I'm sure this problem came from economics, right? This can be solved formulas from economics, engineering economics. So you can solve this one. So those formulas that is used in those subjects, in those topics, are derived from this differential equation. So let's continue. So from here, we have uh, what what can we use here? This is just very simple. Problem like this have very simple equation. So from here, we have to combine all the same value. So I'll just put dA over A. I will not include the number so that it will not be confusing. So 0.05 dt. Now, I've separated this one, so it's just simply integrating it. Alright? So from there, I can now integrate. We know that dA over A is just equal to ln of A equals 0.05 integral of dt, that is t plus c. Alright? So from there, we could have uh, actually this is actually our general solution. So from there, since we already have general solution, let's now, so we meaning we already have the formula with respect to these conditions, because what we are doing right now is making a formula depending on the scenario that happens. So in subjects like other subjects, those formulas are fixed. But here in differential equation, it changes depending on the situation. Okay? So from here, okay. So from here, it is important to make a table. Why? So that it could be easier for us to identify what variable or what will be the unknowns. So first, let's say this is the amount with respect to time. So it says here that the sum of 100,000 is put at interest per annum under a condition. So meaning the initial money, which is 100,000, is invested. So at time zero. So it started with zero time, right? Kaya pagsugod niya, di man jud to maingon dahil ng 1. So, it started with zero time. So, after that, so, per annum under condition interest shall be compounded at each instance. How many years? The question now is how many years will be required for the amount to reach 200,000? So, we have here 200,000. So, the question now is t sub 1 or any variable you have. So, t, the question now is how much time it needs in order for us to achieve 200,000. Now, if you have this table, you can just simply substitute it in your general solution. So, let's start with the first column. Okay, first column. So, from here, we have at t equals 0. So, at time 0, so initial investment. So, from here, we have ln of A is 100,000 is equal to 0.05 times t is 0 is equal plus c. So therefore, this becomes 0. So therefore, your c is equal to ln 100,000. From there, so now we have our value of c. So if we substitute the a, so we can now get our time which is needed in order for us to achieve 200,000. So from here, you still substitute the same. So you have at a, we don't have value of t. So at a, 200,000. At t, unknown. So from here, so the our formula is ln. So what is our amount of money at this time? That is already 200,000. So from there, we have 0.05. So T sub 1. So this is already T sub 1. Plus, what is RC? That is ln 100,000. So from there, let's try to continue. So from there, we have, let's say, ln 200,000 minus, so ln 200,000 minus ln 100,000 equals 0.05 t sub 1. So since this is logarithmic and subtracted, so it becomes ln 200,000 divided by 100,000 equals 0.05 t sub 1. So therefore, this is ln 200 divided by 100, that is 2, di ba? That is 2. 200,000 divided by 100,000, that is 2. So that is ln 2 equals 0.05 t sub 1. Now we have t sub 1 is equal to ln of 2 divided by 0.05. So let's try using our calculator. So from here, let me clear this one. So from here, we need to get ln2. So we have here ln2 divided by 0.05. So that is equal. So ln2 divided by 0.05 results to 13.863, right? So you have 13.86 or roughly years. So because this is per annum, meaning that is per year, so it takes him or her or the investor 13.86 or roughly 14 years or approximately 14 years in order for him to reach the minimum 200,000, right? So inga na kadugaya siya maka reach ani kay mao ra man po iyahang mao ra man pud ang iyahang kwarta, then ang iyang interest for the next year sige lang siya tubo interest. So in order for him to reach 200,000, it needs him 13.86 years. So just convert this one so that you could know how many months and days. So but the question here is just the time, so you don't need to it. So roughly 13.86 years, or if you round off that one, that is 14 years. But obviously that is higher than 200,000 already. Okay? So it takes him around 13 years to just get the investment.